Hey everyone and welcome. Today we are talking about your boat's secret weapon, something that's so important, but, we often forget all about it. I'm talking about the propeller. It is literally the final link between your engine's horsepower and the water, and I promise you, getting it right can completely change how your boat feels.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like your boat is just sluggish? Like it takes forever to get up on plane? Or maybe you look at your fuel gauge and it just seems to be dropping way faster than it should. Well, guess what? Those frustrations might not be your engine's fault at all. The real culprit could be that spinning piece of metal at the very back.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to completely demystify the boat propeller. We'll start with the two numbers that define everything. I'll show you exactly how to find them. We'll decode the lingo, and then we'll figure out how you can choose the absolute perfect prop for your boat. Let's get into it. Okay, before we start measuring anything, we have got to understand the two most critical pieces of the puzzle for any propeller, and that is its diameter and its pitch. Think of them as the power duo. These two numbers work together to define exactly how your boat is going to perform out there. First up is diameter. It's actually pretty simple. It's just the width of the circle that the prop blades make when they're spinning around. But here's the key. Diameter is all about thrust. A bigger diameter pushes more water, which creates more thrust. That's awesome for heavier boats that need a really strong push to get going. But, of course, there's a trade-off. It takes more power from your engine to turn it.
And that brings us to pitch. Now, the absolute best way to think about pitch is to imagine it's like the gears in your car. Pitch is the theoretical distance, in inches, that the prop would move forward in one full 360-degree spin. A low pitch is like first gear. You get an amazing takeoff, but your top speed is going to be lower. A high pitch, well, that's your highway gear. It's slower to get going, but it lets you hit much higher speeds. So, if you remember one thing, it's this. Pitch is all about your boat's potential for speed.
All right, time to get our hands dirty. Well, not really. Let's start with the easier of the two numbers to figure out, the diameter. It's a super straightforward measurement, and really, anyone can do it with a simple tape measure.
Okay, first, just lay your prop down on a flat surface. Then, find the dead center of the hub. The part that connects to the drive shaft. Now, measure from that center point all the way out to the farthest tip of just one blade. That distance right there is your radius. All you have to do is double that number and bam, that's your propeller's diameter. Now, here's a common mistake. A lot of people measure from the tip of one blade to the tip of another. Don't do that. It's always center to tip times 2.
Now that we've got the diameter, let's hunt down the pitch. And unlike the diameter, this one usually doesn't require a tape measure at all. It's kind of more like an investigation because the answer is almost always hiding in plain sight, stamped right on the prop itself. Go ahead and take a really close look at the hub of your propeller. Most of the time, the manufacturer stamps the size info right there. You're looking for two numbers separated by an X, something like 14x19. The first number, that's the diameter we just figured out how to measure, and that second number, that's your pitch. So in this case, the pitch is 19 inches. Now, if the numbers are all worn off, don't worry. Their next best bet is to check the manufacturer's specs for your engine. Or, if you have one, use a special tool called a prop pitch gauge. Okay, so you've got your two numbers, you've looked at your prop, you've found the code. Now, let's make sure we know exactly what that code is telling us about how our boat is going to perform.
So let's stick with that common example we just saw, 14 times 19. This is the standard way you'll see it written on most propellers for outboards and stern drives. It seems like a simple little code, but it contains basically everything you need to know.
This really breaks it down into the two sides of the performance coin. The 14 is your 14-inch diameter, and that's what's giving you thrust. It determines how much water the prop can grab and push backward. The 19 is your 19-inch pitch, and that's all about speed. How far forward that push will theoretically move your boat with every single rotation. Just remember it this way. Diameter is for push, pitch is for speed.
So why do we care about all this? What's the big deal? Well, it's because your propeller directly controls your engine's RPMs. Every single engine is designed to operate in a very specific RPM range at wide open throttle, or WOT, as you'll often hear it called. The right prop keeps your engine living in that happy little sweet spot, which is absolutely crucial for its health and long life. The wrong prop can make it over-rev or just as bad, lug under too much load, and both of those things can cause some serious damage over time.
All right, let's put it all together. You now know what the numbers mean, and you know how to find them. So how do you use that knowledge to make sure you have the absolute best propeller for your boat and for the way you actually use it?
It almost always boils down to this single trade-off right here. What's more important to you, acceleration or top speed? If you do a lot of water sports like towing a skier or a tuber, you need that powerful hole shot to get them up out of the water. For that, you'll want a lower pitch. But if you're more of a cruiser who just wants to maximize that top-end speed and get the best fuel economy, you're going to lean towards a higher pitch. You generally just can't have the absolute best of both worlds.
So how do you even know if your current prop is the problem? Well, your boat will usually tell you. The signs are pretty clear. If your acceleration just feels lazy, if your engine is struggling to get up to its recommended max RPMs at full throttle, if your top speed just isn't what it used to be, or you feel like you're stopping for fuel all the time, it is definitely time to inspect your prop. And of course, any visible damage, dings, bent blades, cracks, that's an immediate red flag that your performance is suffering.
And hey, one last little thing to think about is the number of blades. A 3-blade prop is the classic for a reason. It's the most common, a great all-around performer, and offers a really nice balance of speed and efficiency. But if you move to a 4-blade prop, you get more blade surface area in the water. This gives you way more grip, better acceleration, and better handling, which is just fantastic for heavier boats or for towing. The only small price you might pay is losing a little bit of that top-end speed.
So, after all that, here's the question you should be asking yourself. Could your propeller be the bottleneck? Is that one single component actually holding your boat back from what it could be? By understanding diameter and pitch and the warning signs of a worn-out prop, you now have the knowledge to go out there and unlock your boat's true potential.